here's where I got hit in the door. So I'm back here waiting to be seen. I think they're gonna do an ultrasound to check on the baby and everything, and I have this knot on my head. They have to check that. I don't know if y'all can see that, but there's like a blue knot on my knuckle. It's like swollen. It's hard to bend. I'm so glad that she was able to get the heartbeat, and she's been moving around. I felt her move shortly after the wreck, so they're about to do an x-ray on my finger, and they're using this to shield the baby. I'm so happy that she's okay. I don't know if I'm gonna have to be going to the baby center or not and be monitored. I might have to stay overnight, but they still haven't told me anything yet, so I'm not for sure. If I do have to stay, then I will update y'all and tell y'all the story of everything, because I'm sure y'all are like, what in the world, how did this happen? So I had an ultrasound and they said everything looked good, but I have to stay overnight. I don't know if it's gonna be 12 or 24 hours yet. I'm still waiting to see my midwife. My head has started to hurt. I think it's like starting to, you know, hit me now that I hit my head on the window. They might be having to give me some medicine to stop contractions, but I have been having Braxton Hicks contractions to begin with, so that's all I think it is. But you know, since I had the car accident, they got to be on the safe side, so I might be getting medicine for that to like stop contractions if they think it's gonna start labor. Okay y'all, as promised, I'm gonna try to give y'all an update and explain everything, but I feel really awkward because I feel like everybody can hear me. And I don't know if y'all can hear the annoying IV thing and then the heartbeat over there. So if y'all can't hear me, I'm sorry, just turn your volume up. I'm gonna suggest that right now. I've already had to tell this story multiple times to like 2 or 3 different cops and like the paramedics and then multiple nurses, and I've just told it so many times. I was driving to get on the parkway and I was going down this ramp, but it's not a ramp that's like one of those ramps that's up in the air. It's like literally flat. I was on the ramp part where you kind of just wait until the traffic on your left has driven by and then you can merge left to get in the lanes. Well, that's what I was doing. I stopped. I wasn't in the part where you drive. I was just right there where you have to wait to merge. And then I was just like chilling, and then all of a sudden I heard tires like squealing like crazy, and I'm like, what in the world? And I look to the left and I'm like still trying to figure out where the tire squealing noise is coming from, because all I seen was this big white bus. It's called a transit. They take like people to doctor's appointments and stuff. And then there was like this Charger or Challenger, I don't know the difference, but the transit bus was in the slow lane, so the right lane, and then the car was in the fast lane, the left lane. And I still don't know which one had the tires squealing. I'm gonna assume it was the car. And I had noticed that the transit bus was starting to float over into the left lane, crossing the line, about to hit that car. So my theory is that that car was trying to gun it to be able to speed up to go past that transit, because they were like even. So if that transit would have kept going left, it would have hit that car and caused a wreck, even though there was a wreck. So I think that the car was like gunning it to get out of the way, and whenever he did that, he gunned it, and then he was trying to also go right to get in the slow lane. Our other theory is that the transit bus was trying to move over because they seen me waiting, and they were trying to go over into the other lane so I can merge, but they didn't see the other car. That's what my mother-in-law was thinking, which makes total sense. And then whenever they tried to merge left, that car, they didn't notice it, and then the car was like freaking out and then trying to speed up and then go to the right to get in the slow lane to get out of the transit's way. And the parkway, you can go 70, so they were going like 70 miles an hour. Whenever he was trying to cross over and get into the slow lane, I could see him, like I was looking right at him in his windshield, and his arm, like you could see his hand was turned all the way to the right. He had the wheel like hardcore turned to the right, and he was just like, I could see the panic in his face, and he was like coming right at me. to the driver's side door, and I was like frozen. I was like I literally couldn't do anything. And then he just like, he hit me, and it was just like so fast. It happened in like 2 seconds, literally like 1 to 2 seconds, and the wreck was over. But somehow he hit me like 3 times. I have a big dent on the driver's door. There's more damage on the back of the van, and then there's like a dent on the right side on the passenger side in the back, which makes no sense. I still can't understand how that dent got there. Him hitting me caused my vehicle to spin all the way around, and I was like pointing in the opposite direction of where I should have been going. Whenever he hit me, my head went to the left and like slammed into the window, and the window broke, and I have this knot on my head, and it's started to hurt more. Like it's starting to hurt over my head and like down my neck. I didn't want to ride in the ambulance because I have a fear of getting in an ambulance and getting into a wreck, because you know how they like speed to get you to the hospital, so that's like scary to me. So my mother-in-law brought me because she showed up at the accident, because I literally wasn't far from my house at all, so she was super close to where I was, and she brought me here. And then I went to the emergency room. I got checked out over there. Like they just asked me a bunch of questions, and then they x-rayed my finger. I don't know if y'all can tell that that's darker, but it's like swollen, and it's like purple and blue. This lighting sucks, but the other light switch is way over there by the door, and I'm not about to get up and have to unhook this machine again to show y'all. They x-rayed that, but they said it looked fine, like there's nothing broken. And since I've been in this room, I've had to get my blood drawn 3 times. Oh my goodness. And then I got this IV to get some whatever. They checked me, and I'm not dilated. They did an ultrasound, and everything's fine, so everything looks good. But I have to stay for 24 hours from the time that I had the wreck, and I had the wreck at like 3:45, so I'm gonna have to be here until tomorrow around that time. They've been seeing contractions on the thingy, but I was telling them, like, I've been having Braxton Hicks contractions all the time. Like, I just have them all the time, and that's exactly what's been happening since I've been hooked up to the monitor. It's nothing out of the ordinary, but you know, they got to keep an eye on it and make sure it's not gonna like start labor. And if it does, they're wanting to put something in my IV that like would stop labor. So yeah, they're just gonna monitor it and then decide, basically. So I'm praying that everything's fine and that I don't have to get medicine in my IV to stop labor. I hope I don't go into labor. I hope I can just go home tomorrow. Since my head and neck have been bothering me, they made me this ice pack with a glove. And then she also brought me these things. Only women will probably know what these are, but they're these things that you use after you have the baby. And like if you like twist them and like crack them or whatever, they get cold, and you know, I could put it on my neck. So that was really nice of her to bring me these. She gave me like 6 or 7 because she said they don't stay cold for that long. So I think that's really nice of them to do that for me. It's funny, but it's nice. They said that now I can finally drink something. I can't eat anything unless it's like broth or jello or ice. I haven't eaten since like 11 or 12 today, and it's 9 o'clock at night, so it's been a while. I'm loving this ice, y'all. Like, I'm gonna eat all this like so fast because this cup is so small. Wow, this lighting right here is so much better than it was whenever I was telling y'all the story. Oh well, I'm sure y'all understand and y'all don't care because of the situation. I feel like y'all don't care. So I actually have some clips from the car accident scene, and I'm gonna insert them here for y'all because I'm sure some of y'all are curious about it. So here are some of the clips that I got.
Is anybody else in the van with you? Okay. You need an ambulance?
I don't think so.
You've already got one on the way?
I called them this fast, they called me.
Fantastic.
God bless you
Thank
all.
you.
And I'm so glad nobody was hurt real bad. Yeah.
If they want to check you out, you better let them. Most of the baby, okay?
Boy or girl?
Girl.
Oh, well, I'll tell you what, I hope you and the baby is okay, honey.
Thank you.
Oh, it's coming.
It's just my head hurts. I think my head hit the window,
It had to have
but it
been
happened so fast I don't even know.
Yeah,
All I know is like as soon as like we came to a stop, I was like, oh my gosh, my head hurts.
yeah. Yeah, you definitely hit your head on that thing. It shattered.
That's crazy. And then here's the front of their car, and that's my tail light. And okay, here's where I got hit in the door. It shattered the window and my head hit the window. And then somehow I got hit right here too. Gotta scoot back. And then I have a dent over here too, which I don't even understand that either, but yeah. Good morning, y'all. It's the next day. It is almost 7:45. They brought in me some breakfast. Broth. And some Jello, apple juice, and a popsicle, and I don't know, I think this could be coffee. So there's my amazing breakfast, y'all. Nothing crazy happened in the night. I managed to get some sleep. I woke up a lot, but other than that, I feel like I got some decent sleep. My head isn't hurting as much as it was last night. Every time I went up to go pee, it would start to hurt more, like it was like really aching all in the back, and I'm hoping that that pain doesn't come back. They said everything has been looking great, and the contractions on the thingy haven't been crazy. Like there's only been like 4 an hour, and like I've told y'all and them, they're not painful. They're just like the Braxton Hicks contractions. To me, I don't feel like they're anything crazy. I always have Braxton Hicks contractions like all the time, so it's nothing uncommon for me. As far as I know, with how everything looks, I think I'm gonna be able to be released today, hopefully within the 24 hours that they said, which would be at like 3:45. There was some talk about potential for a C-section if I kept having contractions, and they were talking about my placenta. Like they say with car accidents, a lot of times it'll like detach or something, and like you like have to have a C-section right away. And I'm just like, that's scary. I'm feeling more like myself today. I was having such bad anxiety yesterday being in this hospital after the wreck, and I'm starting to actually feel like myself again. So I feel so much better. I just can't wait to get unhooked from this IV and go home and take a hot shower and just be home. I'm ready to go home. I just want to say that I'm seriously so grateful and thankful that God spared our lives and protected us yesterday, because no doubt that he did, you know. And I'm so sorry for my appearance. Like throughout this whole video, I feel like I've looked so terrible, but I'm sure that y'all understand. I mean, I got hit by a car, so I feel like I have an excuse. I think that since I've already told y'all the story and it's the next day and I've kind of updated y'all, I think that this is where I'm going to end it. I'll either update y'all in another video on here, or I might just update y'all on my other social media. So if you don't already have me on them, go ahead and go to my description and follow me on like my Instagram, because I will probably put it on my stories there, or I might post a picture and explain on the picture in the caption if I'm home and stuff like that. So thanks for watching, and thanks for all of y'all that have been praying. I really appreciate it. So see you next time. Bye guys.